Scourge told Yarnc what Sangho had, and those Corsairs told Sangho what Yarnc had. It's kind of an exchange. Corsairs for Scourge. What a lovely trade. Anyway, those Hydralisks are engaging right now. They are taking down the photon cannons, but there is Hydralisk blood everywhere. There is not enough. There's not enough Hydras to be able to take down those cannons. And there is a DT out. There are 2 DTs out. We are seeing the Bisu build right here, right now. And this might actually be effective because those overlords are all clumped towards those spore colonies. Yarnc might be frightened into not having overlords all over the map as he needs, but luckily at this expansion of his, I should have mentioned that earlier, Yarnc has expanded to the bottom left. I think I may have. But at the bottom left, he does have those overlords waiting. He has a spore colony mutating right now for those Dark Templars, and those Dark Templars have no chance. It was a good idea though, I think, because Corsair DTs are very effective. It scares the Zerg player into not using their overlords, and then the Dark Templars can just sneak in and wreak havoc among drones. Unfortunately, Sangho's Dark Templars will not live to see their first drone slain, unfortunately. Anyway, Sangho has transitioned into building that Templar army with a couple, I'm not sure how many Zealots he has, I don't know if he has any. Those Dark Templar will get thwarted by that veritable Hydralisk Overlord army. But yes, he has gone for a lot of Templars. It is probably an extremely good idea seeing that there are so many Hydralisks. There's very little he can do right now. He only has cannons. He has no units. Because this is really how the Protoss player plays due to a fast expand. They build up their economic advantage, they get as greedy as possible, and then they start to mute in the gateways and produce units after units, and at that point they can produce such a large concentration of Protoss units that they can pretty much destroy any amount of Zerg units. But Yarnc is doing a Hydralisk drop, and this is an interesting feature of Andromeda. Unfortunately for those Corsairs, they went in completely the wrong direction. But this is interesting about Andromeda. They have this little exposed cliffside kind of contained area, contained by those power generators, and once you destroy those power generators, you can just come right in, and this is partially the downfall of fast expand Protoss. You have so many cannons at the front, but you have nothing in the back, and Sangho has nothing in the back. He can take he can take down the Templar Archives. I wonder if Storm is upgraded yet. I don't know, but Sangho will need that storm. He'll need a lot of brilliant storms, and that was a brilliant storm, but a brilliant pull by Yarnc. That was another brilliant storm and pull. Both players are doing extremely well, actually. And here is a lurker drop by Yarnc in the back of his base, and I don't think Sangho has observers quite yet. The timing probably isn't right yet, so he has lurkers. He's wreaking havoc on the natural expansion. Sangho cannot mine at the natural expansion. This is looking extremely bad for Sangho. And those Hydralisks really need to be doing something, even though that Yarnc is in the lead right now. He can't just have those Hydralisks dancing around with each other. Poor AI by those Hydralisks. Anyway, there are more Hydralisks coming in from the front. I'm wondering if he'll try to do a two-pronged attack now that the actual front of the base is exposed. That storm will probably take care of most of those Hydralisks. Those overlords are also going to be chased down by those Corsairs. But anyway, I'm wondering if he will do a two-pronged attack. Probably not a good idea because there are just so many cannons at the front. In the meantime, Luxury and Yarnc are quite similar looking, so I have trouble distinguishing them. Anyway, Yarnc is going for Hive Tech. He might actually switch over into Defilers and Zerglings, Cracklings. Cracklings are very useful, especially when they have adrenaline gland boost and metabolic speed. And here comes another drop from Yarnc. This time, right in front of the pylon. He gets the pylon. None of those gateways are powered right now. I don't think. Maybe some of them. The bottom two are probably powered. But unfortunately, that storm takes out all those Hydralisks. That would have been a wonderful attack by... Oh, there is another pylon. Sorry, I got a little bit excited there. Many Protoss players have learned to put a pylon, more than one pylon near the gateways, I think, after a couple of Pro League games where some people were beaten just because a pylon was broken. Anyway, Yarnc is in an extremely decisively advantageous position. Right now he's pumping out of 6 hatcheries, he's getting hive tech, he has both bases, all 3 bases actually in the bottom left corner, so it's going to be soon 6 base Zerg to 3 base Protoss, and those 3 bases aren't even really saturated by probes anymore because of those lurkers. There are lurkers pounding at the front, these Corsairs are doing too little too late, those overlords aren't really necessary, because Yarnc's economy is just so strong right now, and that gateway will probably go down, that forge might actually go down. Sangho is in so much trouble. I don't really know what he's planning to do. He is building those pylons for early detection of any future drops, but it doesn't look like it's going to discover this drop, which is another lurker drop. Another brilliant lurker drop, and 2 probes go down. It prevents mining from that natural expansion yet again. No gas for poor Sangho, no gas at all. And really, Sangho hasn't been really playing that well. I mean, I guess he has been playing decently well, but the problem is he's been too content to sit back in his base. This is a problem, I think, with most FE, Fast Expand Protoss players nowadays when they're playing Zerg. They're so content to just build a couple cannons at their front, build up their army, you know, just hang out in their base and build up their army while the Zerg player kind of, I don't know, languishes outside. And there are 2 brilliant storms, but Sangho will need extremely brilliant storms to clean this up. I think he will be able to clean it up with a couple more storms and those zealots. There are Zerglings in that mix now. Almost a lot of units are being just thrown into Sangho's base, catapulted, boomeranged into Sangho's back door. But anyway, this is a problem with Fast Expand Protoss, I think, because they don't really have an army in the beginning, and if the Zerg player just doesn't sit back, if the Zerg player chooses not to sit back, not to just macro, but also brings the battle to the front, and here is Yarnc bringing the battle to the front yet again with those lurkers at the bottom. That was kind of clever. Unfortunately for Yarnc, Sangho was paired by a couple of cannons. But yeah, Yarnc has been doing such a good job of bringing the battle to the Protoss. The Protoss has not been able to concentrate to get that crazy army of Protoss units, that crazy mixture of Dragoons, Zealots, so on. And because of it, he hasn't really been able to move out. He hasn't been able to prevent any expansions. And here he is trying to move out. I think he may be successful. There aren't that many Zerg units outside right now, outside his base. And there are Zealots and Dragoons, plenty of them to counter against these Hydras and Lurkers, and I could have sworn that Yarnc had more units than this. Where is his unit count? I'm just wondering where his units are sitting in his base. And oh, here we are. Here are Yarnc's units, and here are those crazy cracklings, those chogaling, hydralisko, mutalisko, sorry. But anyway, jogon. Those cracklings are going to take down that nexus. They are taking it down. Those gateways might even go down. I'm not sure. This Zealot Dragoon army will probably take down those Zerglings, but it is far too late for Sangho to be able to come back into this game, I think. It is 6 base Zerg to 3 base Protoss. There are units coming out as, I think, a last-ditch effort just to combat this Zerg army. I don't think Yarnc should be engaging right now, though, because Zerg armies don't really want to engage Protoss armies unless they are of that size, of Sangho's pitiful size, because of all the wonderful harass that Yarnc has been doing. And it is GG from Ryan Shield or Sangho. And I guess OGN Sparkies wins this match. OGN, good job to the underdog of the Pro League season. Although eSTRO could possibly be considered even more of an underdog, they're probably the underdog of underdogs, being 10th in the season. Anyway, good job to Yarnc. Good job. I really liked his playstyle, actually. Most Zerg v Protoss games on Andromeda, out of all maps, are really heavily macro-based, are really boring. Mostly players just let each other macro up. They're content to let each other macro up. But Yarnc was not. Yarnc brought his game. He started pouring in Hydras, pouring in Lurkers, using every single unit, cracklings, overlords, and just kicking butt and taking names. Good job, Yarnc. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Please keep leaving suggestions and comments. They are really helpful. I hope I didn't say as many ums this game. Anyway, thanks for listening.